Namaste students. Welcome back to Unit 1, Chapter 3 and Part 2, Working with Functions. And last class, we studied about what you mean by function and objectives of functions, and we studied about definition of functions in Python and all those things we studied. So what do you mean by a function? See, function is a subprogram that acts on data and often returns a value. Or we can say it's a self-sustained program segment that is to perform some specific task. And we studied about so what are the objectives or what are the components inside a function. So whenever you're going to define a function, def prefix we need def and then function name, and inside parenthesis we need to specify arguments, not parameter, arguments that we have to put there, and then colon. So colon indicates followed by that statement we have to execute block of statements, or we can say function body. And next after def we need to specify function name. Here function name is any optional name actually that indicates that function name is an identifier. And then we studied about function anatomy, and then we studied about external what we can say external instructions and all those things. So there are three types of functions. So last class we studied about that one: built-in functions, functions defined in modules, user defined functions that we studied. Built-in function means these are predefined functions and are always available for use. You can use them like to find the length of a string, to find the length of a tuple, to find the length of a list, etc. To find the type function is also one of the built-in functions. Int function, input function, etc. Next, functions defined in modules. Functions defined in modules. These functions are predefined in particular modules and can only be used when the corresponding module is imported. So to make use of such functions, we need to import modules or module names. For example, suppose if you want to use square root function, then we need to import math function. Next one is third one, that is user defined functions. These are defined by the programmer. As programmers, you can create your own functions. Okay, these are about different types of Python functions. Next, defining functions in Python. See here also it's once I explained that one. We need def, then function name, then within parenthesis we have to specify the parameters, etc. And then we need to specify the colon, and after colon we have to use a space horizontal tab in each instruction. So that indicates block of function, or so we can say block of statements that is pertaining to that function. And next one is, that means block of function means indentation, the blank space in the beginning of a statement. Our convention is four spaces within a block. All statements within same block have same indentation. Next, structure of Python program. In a Python program, generally all function definitions are given at the top, followed by statements which are not part of any function. That means the instructions immediate after the function definition which are not belongs to that function, and these statements are not indented at all. Indented means horizontal space is not given. By default, Python names the segment with top level statements is, or we can say it is as main function or main program. Say here by default Python names the segment with the top level statements, that means main program, as main function or main program. That means without indentation, set of statements are treated as top level statement. Top level statement, it's already explained in last class. Next, definition of function, definition of other functions, etc. So we can implement here. Okay, next we'll move on to the today's session. Here, structure of Python program. The structure of a Python program is generally like the one shown below. Here, definition of function 1, here colon is specified, and below that some set of statements. Definition of function 2 and again colon and some statements belong that, okay, followed by that one. Actually, all the set of statements or body of the function, we need to insert indentation. That means horizontal space should be included. Otherwise, what happens is the statements without that marginal space, it is treated as the main function, or we can say top level statements. Top level statements. Python names the segment with the top level statements, that means no indentation, as main function. Python begins execution of a program from the top level statements, that is from main. Okay, these are about structure of Python program. And next we have to study about how we can call the function. Here Python stores this name in built-in variable called name. See, name is, here two statements are there, print at the topmost level right now, and print inside name. Actually these two statements are defined out of that particular function definition that indicates, so whenever you're going to execute a program, that two statements will be executed first. So that is, you need not to declare this variable, you can directly use it. So you can directly use it. You can see it yourself in main segment of your program if you give a statement like print underscore name. See this statement. In this program segment, def greet then function parenthesis then colon print hi there. So whenever you're going to execute the whole program, so what happens is the statements out of that function definition, that means here print at the topmost level right now, print inside name. So these two statements will be executed first, and next it will execute the function. If function call is there, then only it will execute that one. The top level statements, that is the main segment of this Python program, Python will start execution of this program from the segment. So notice word main in the output by Python interpreter. This is the result of statement print underscore name. See, only this much. See, whenever you're going to execute that program segment, so it will execute the top level statement first or topmost level statement first, then it will execute function. That means top level statements means statements without indentation, without marginal space, or without horizontal tab, that will be executed first. So it will be treated as it is not belongs to the function. Okay, next move on to the next slide. Here, flow of execution. See, flow of execution refers to the order in which the statements are executed during a program run, or we can say whenever you're going to execute a program, how all the statements are executed, or we can say order of the execution of such statements. It is known as flow of execution. Whenever you invoke a function whose header looks like def sum a comma b, the function call statement is like sum a comma b. So two statements. See, first one is definition of function, or we can say function header. Here it is def sum a comma b, and below that the function call statements is like sum a comma b. See, these are this one sum a comma b, we can say it is function call, and above statement definition of sum a comma b, it will be treated as a function header. Say immediate after function header there is a function definition, and here function call means that is to pass the control from function call to function header. where a comma b are the values being passed to the function sum. A comma b are values. That means we are going to pass two values to the function. The flow of execution refers to the order in which the statements are executed during a program run. A function body is also a block. In Python, a block is executed in an execution frame. So execution frame means that indicates how an execution how an execution takes place. See which statement that is to be executed first, and next how to pass the control from one point to another or one statement to another, and how it executes other statements, and when it returns the result back, and all those things that will be specified under this one execution frame. So execution frame means how a block of statements that will be executed, that will be described by the execution frame. An execution frame contains, see, some points are there. An execution frame contains some internal information used for debugging. Here debugging means error detection and error correction. Some internal information. Next, name of the function. Name of the function should be specified here. Values passed to function. Values passed to function. That means actually whenever you're executing a program, statements without indentation, here we can pass some values to the function header or function definition, and values passed to the function, so that will be specified here. Variables created within function. Variables created within function. Information about the next instruction to be executed. So these are all things in function execution frame. See, first one is some internal information. So how to debug a program or how to debug a particular program segment. And second one is name of the function. Name of the function is very important. And value passed to the function. So what are the values that function can receive from the external statements? Variable created within a function. Variables created within a function. So what are the variables created? That means local variables defined inside a function. Information about the next instruction to be executed. So these are all information should be there in execution frame. Okay, we'll move on to the next. See, just look at this one. So how a function executes. Actually, whenever a function call statement is encountered or executed, so what happens? An execution frame for the called function is created. Called function is created and the control is transferred to it. And control transferred to it. And within the function's execution frame, the statement in the function body are executed. And with the return statement or the last statement of the function body, the control returns to the statement where from the function was called. That is, it is given here. See, consider this program segment. See, these are the program segments. Here function definition is there, def, fun, func, and then some statements and return statement, and here main function is defined. Main function means without indentation. So meaning is we have to, our compiler or interpreter of Python that will execute that statement first without specifying or without executing the function, and after main function. So here function call is there, function call. So what happens is, so it will execute main function and some set of instructions, and when it executes a func function, so what happens is control that will transfer from this point to def function, from this point to def function. And what happens is here it will execute all the statements and it will send the result back to the calling function. Here main function is calling function and def function is called function. See here it is given, function call will send to the control flow to the function definition. Function definition means, so first statements are treated as the function definition, and here last statement is return. So return, that is to return the answer back to the immediate after statement of function call. So that will be sent to the print. So last statement of the function definition will send the control back to where from the function was called. Okay, these are about simple execution of a function. So how to execute a function? That means here execution frame that will transfer the control from called function to calling function. Here calling function is def function is calling function and called function is main function. Here called function call is func of function is called as function call. Okay, next move on to the next statement here. See, here one program is given, program to add two numbers through a function. Program add.py, actually it's a function name, sorry, file name add.py to add two numbers through a function. Here first you are defining function def calculate sum x comma y and then colon. Here indentation or horizontal space is given, s equal to x plus y, return yes, s equal to x plus y, return yes. And here immediate after function definition, then num1 equal to float input enter first number, num2 float input enter second number. So what happens is, next one is sum equal to calculate sum num1 comma num2. See here what happens is, here execution frame that will execute, or it starts the execution starting from num1, num2, sum, print, etc. And here what happens is, so first it will read the first number, for example 2, and second number is 5. So what happens is sum equal to calculate sum num1 comma num2. So what happens is, here control transfer from this point to here, definition calculate sum x comma y. So x copies the value of num1, y copies the value of num2, and value of x and y, that is equal to 2 and 5, will be copied to x and y, and sum equal to 2 plus 5 equal to 7. Return yes means return 7. So 7 will be copied to, so return function which returns the answer to the same instruction, sum equal to calculate sum num1 comma num2. So sum copies the value of 7 and print sum of 2 given number is 7. So here what happens is, here it will execute the statement like this only. So first it will execute num1 first statement, second statement, third statement, and here it will execute statement 1, statement 2, next it will execute last statement, statement 4, like this. See here once again this picture that depicts how to pass the values from one function to another. Same program it is given in the previous slide, and here also values given, num1 equal to 3, enter the first number, num2 is equal to 7, and here what happens is it will perform the operation like this. So answer is 10. Answer is 10. So it will returns the answer back to the main function or statements without indentation. So, or we can say topmost level statements. Here, so we can say that for above program the statements were executed. Main function 1 statement that will be execute num1, main function 2 num2, so num2 will be loaded, and then sum equal to calculate sum inside bracket num1 comma num2, so that will be executed. So after this one statement or control transfer from this point to the function calculate sum 1. So first statement of calculation immediate after function definition, Next, calculate sum 2. So after this statement, here calculate sum 2, it executes the return function. So return, what happens is return that will send answer back to the same main 3 function. So after execution of main 3, it will send the main 4. So main 4 will be executed. See here these statements number 1, 2, 3, 4 that is belongs to main, and statement 1 and 2 that is belongs to the subprogram. All calculate sum. Okay, next move on to the next statements. In a program, Python starts reading from line 1 to downwards. Statements are executed one at a time in order from top to bottom. While executing a program, Python follows these guidelines. There are some guidelines. See, so what are the guidelines? Just go through this one. Execution always begins at the first statement of the program. Execution starts from the first statement. Comment lines are ignored. So comment lines are not normally, it is non-executive statement, or that will not be executed. All other non-blank lines are executed. All other non-blank lines are executed and comment lines are ignored. Next one, if Python notices that it is a function definition, then Python just executes the function header line to determine that it is proper function header. And ignores all the lines in the function body. The statements inside a function body are not executed until the function is called. So when function call executed, then only function body will be executed. In Python, a function can define another function inside it. That means we can embed one function within another function. But since the inner function definition is inside the function body, the inner definition is not executed until the outer function is called. So to execute the inner function body, first we need to execute the outer function first. When a code line contains a function call, Python first jumps to the function header line and then to the first line of the function body and starts executing it. A function ends up with the return statement or the last statement of function body, whichever occurs earlier. So which one comes first? So according to that, it will ends with the execution of function. If the called function returns a value, that is has a statement like return, if the called function returns a value that has the return function, then the control will jump back to the function call statement and completes the all other statement that is to be executed. If the called function does not return any value, that is the return statement has no variable or value or expression, then the control jumps back to the line following the function call statement. Okay, these are about the execution of Python program or executing a program with functions. Okay, these are very important concepts and study properly, and we'll move to the next statement. So that is, if we give line number to each line in the program, then flow of execution can be represented just through the line numbers. See, one program is given, it's already given in the previous session, definition of calculate sum x comma y. See, execution takes place like this. Here first it will execute first statement. Actually it's a comment, so it will not execute that one. It's a non-executable statement, so it will execute 2. So it will execute 2 and it will check whether that function definition is proper or not. If it is proper, then it will go for the next indentation line, sorry, without indentation line. So from 2 to 6, it's already 2 is mentioned here, 2 to 6, from 6 to 7, and 7 to 8. After execution of 8th line, control jumps from 8 to 2, and here what happens is it will execute 2, 3, 4. After execution of return S, or it encounters return S, again it will execute line number 8 and 9. Okay, these are about flow of execution of this program. And whenever you're going to insert some comments, so comments will be ignored. So that will not going to execute. Okay, these are about called function, how it executes, and how to pass the function call to function definition, etc. These are very important. So whenever you're going to write a program, these things should be properly mentioned. Next line or next paragraph is, or next slide, regarding to arguments and parameters. As you know that you can pass values to functions. For this, you define variable to receive values in function definition, and you send values via function call statements. For example, see here another function is already given here. Definition multiply a comma b, print a star b. Return function is not there. Value of y equal to 3. Actually, it's not belongs to the indentation of that particular function. That means y equal to 3, which is not belongs to the function. Multiply 12 comma y, multiply y comma y, and then x equal to 5, multiply y comma x. So what happens is, here order of execution is like this. See, first it will execute definition multiply a comma b, and next starting from this one, so it will not execute print a comma b. Just check whether that particular function definition is proper or not. If it is over, then it will check y equal to 3, and then multiply. And after execution of this statement, control jumps from this statement to here, definition of multiply a comma b. Here what happens is a comma b, it copies the value of multiply 12 comma y. So latest value of y is 3. So what happens is 12 and 3 will be copied to a and b. So what happens is print a comma b, sorry, a star b. So what happens is, here 12 star 3 means 36. 36 will be displayed there itself. Without return function means there itself it will display. So again it will comes to this point, multiply y comma y. So control execute this one, multiply y comma y. That means 3 comma 3. So it will display 9. Here x equal to 5. So what happens is, again it will multiply y comma x. So 3 comma 5. 3 comma 5 will be copied to a and b. A is equal to 3, b is equal to 5. So here what happens is it will display print 15. So here what happens is there is no return statement from the subprogram or that particular function. Multiply 12 comma y, multiply y comma y, multiply y comma x. That will be executed one by one. You can see that above program has a function namely multiply that receives two values. This function is being called 3 times by passing different values. The 3 function calls for multiply are, here it is given, multiply 12 comma y, multiply y comma y, multiply y comma x. See here, with the function call 1, the variable a and b in function header will receive 12 and y respectively. That means 12 and 3 respectively. In second function call, y comma y, 3 comma 3 respectively. And during third or function call 3, the variable a comma b in function header will receive 3 comma 5. So like this it will execute. Okay, these are about arguments and parameters. Here I can say here what happens is here A and B, it is called as argument, which receives values from the calling function arguments, and here multiply 12 comma y, it is called as parameter. So parameter is the value that is defined inside the calling function, and arguments are the variables defined inside the called function. So these are all about arguments and parameters. See once again, arguments means variables in a function header, and which receives values from the another function or function call, which receives values from the function call, it is called as arguments. Parameters means variables in function call, and that will be copied to the arguments or function definition or function header. So it is called as parameter. So these are differences between arguments and parameters. So whatever here, arguments which copies the values from the parameters, and parameters are used to copy the values to the arguments. Okay, these are about today's session. Well students, today we studied about structure of Python program and how to pass the values from one function to another, and what do you mean by topmost level, and how to pass the values and etc. So it is little bit difficult to understand this, and if you have any doubts you can ask me, and my WhatsApp number also given in Google Classroom and in your WhatsApp also. And today also we discussed about flow of execution in a function call. It is very important, and how to execute the statements, and a function body, how to execute a function body, and what do you mean by execution frame, and all those things we discussed today. And so I'm going to stop this session today, and we will see you in the next session. So I'll send worksheet along with this video link. Just go through that one and submit in time.